So it's 2 p.m. here now, and I think we will start this webinar. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. I was very happy to see that we have registered participants from over 27 countries, so quite an international crowd. It was very exciting to see that. And thank you all for joining us, and welcome to this webinar on embedded commerce. As you all know, we are going to hear a very interesting case study from Dagens Nyheter, one of Sweden's largest newspaper, on embedded commerce and how they're using this to create greater revenue, and especially how it's proven to be a great success. I am Virginia Melero, and I'm in the Digital Revenue Network department at WAN-IFRA here in Frankfurt, Germany, and I will be moderating this session today, and very happy to do so. So you know that here at WAN-IFRA, we like to interact with all of our members and participants in all of our events, and we are very keen on having that, and we will have that next year in our live events, but you can also very much interact with us today at this webinar. Please post any of your questions or comments in the bottom button on the Q&A, and we will get to them after their presentations. Now, before we go into today's presentations, I just wanted to remind you briefly that on the 29th of November to 3rd of December, we are going to be holding a virtual World News Media Congress, 4 days, full of interesting presentations, all highlighting all the main issues concerning our the publishing industry. So for example, Women in News, World Editors Summit, the Golden Pit of Freedom. So make sure you join us for that, and you can register going into our website or contact any of us here at WAN-IFRA, and we'll be happy to give you more information on that. Hope to see you there. But now on to today's agenda and the reason why you're all here. It is my pleasure to introduce to you both speakers of the day, Micaela Giaconelli, who is Director of Client Success at Tipster. Tipster is a world-class enterprise platform for embedded commerce, and she's joined by Per Johnsson, Partnership Manager from Dagens Nyheter. They're both based in Stockholm. They're together there, and I wish I could be there as well. Stockholm is a beautiful city. I recommend everybody to go there if you haven't been there, and to return if you have the opportunity, because it's definitely very much worth it. So Micaela will start off by telling us about Tipster and how the transactions work when incorporating embedded commerce in a publication. And together with Per, they will present us valuable insights on DN's journey and positive experience with this approach, and how it is not only generating new revenue for DN, but enhancing their brand's strong connection with their readers, which is basically what all publishers are seeking. Their journey has been quite unique and successful, so let's turn to them to hear all about it. Thank you very much again to both speakers for joining us, and for Tipster for your support. And Micaela, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Virginia, for that introduction. Super much welcome, both Per and everyone listening in. I think we both encourage the participants to post questions if you have. Don't hold back. We will try to answer as much as we can. And I will start off with giving an introduction to embedded commerce, because this concept is pretty new. And in order to understand the journey of Dagens Nyheter, you need to first understand what embedded commerce is all about. But actually, to be able to understand embedded commerce, you need to first understand what's happening on today's market. And when it comes to retail and retail management. So I don't think it's a surprise to anyone that the consumer behavior in retail is changing rapidly, and COVID has had a major effect on this as well. More and more retailers are growing their online business, and e-commerce becomes more and more important when it comes to revenue streams within retail. And the reason why the market is changing is all about the consumer and the consumer behavior, to be honest. We are meeting a consumer online today that has less time than ever before in making a purchase decision. And at the same time, the consumer is faced with more impressions than ever before. What was previously seen as motivational factors like free shipping and free return is today something that the consumer expects. And if you want to be able to offer a good e-commerce experience, you need to add even more into the transactions and into the purchasing phase. We also see that the social dimensions play a more and more important role. And by social, we mean two-way communication. So today you want to enter into an actual conversation with the person or influencer or brand that you're buying from. You want to be able to post questions and get immediate replies before you make your purchasing decision. We see that information play an even more important role. It's all about information in order for you to make an informative purchase decision. And that also makes it actually more conscious because you know what you're buying, you know much about how it will fit when you receive it, and potentially even how big the footprint is behind the product. Location is key. It's been key in physical stores. It's the same online. You need to be at the right place at the right time in order to transact. And all of this leaves us with a situation where it's online about involving as many senses as possible. So it's been much about the eyes, what you see, but we now see that e-commerce is involving even more senses in order to create a relationship with the customer. So what we're seeing is the new omni-channel taking place, and actually it's pretty wrong to talk about the new omni-channel because we believe that the new omni-channel is when you can enable any channel. So you shouldn't have to choose channel, basically. You should be where your customers are. And it's a transactional wave happening. Everyone is going transactional, everything from Instagram to Snapchat to Facebook to publishers like Dagens Nyheter. At the end of the day, what we're seeing happening on the market is that consumers want to be able to take action on inspiration regardless of what channel they are in or what product they are seeing. And then embedded commerce lets you do exactly that, convert directly inside of published content. And if I would have been able to screen share, I would show you what it looks like on DN's own website. But since you can't see it, we'll have to in words describe it instead. The beauty with embedded commerce, and I think that's also when we discussed in prior to this webinar, what makes it good for you as a publisher, because you are really good at creating content, at knowing what your readers love, driving traffic and putting products in inspiring context, basically. Yeah. But you don't want to deal with order handling. You don't want to deal with customer service, no. The risk management, buying in lots of stock, no. Keeping stock somewhere and sending it to end consumers. No. So the entire idea with Tipster and embedded commerce in this way is that we take care of all of that. We do the risk management and we make sure that the logistics work end to end. So you can do whatever you do best, which is marketing of exactly. You do the marketing of the products. And you host the products on a site called DN Erbjudande. Yeah, that's cool. So very much what embedded commerce means in your context is this shopping site where you have lots of unique offers to your subscribers. Yes. So it's a paywall. You need to log in order to access these beautiful offers. And you can transact straight from that content. So you pick whatever products you like. I think I in the video picked an electrical bike with the DN logo on, your bestseller, a book about Sherlock Holmes, and a radio, I think. A radio, exactly. all of that, put it in one basket, go to checkout, pay for it once with one invoice, get one order confirmation, and then checkout still being on the DN page, so I can read even more and interact even more with your site. So that's basically embedded commerce in your context.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's how it works, exactly. And I'm super excited that you wanted to join us here now, because we've been working together for almost 3 years, or it's 3 years plus.
3 years plus, I think.
Yeah.
A little bit more than that. Yeah.
And how come you got interested in embedded commerce in the first place?
In the first place, it was actually another company. Dagens Nyheter is part of Bonnier Group, which is a bigger media group. And another company within the group started to collaborate with Tipser. And that company was called Noah, and they sold art pieces. And we helped them to market those within DN Erbjudanden and on our website. And then we saw that the sales of their material, we helped them, and it really took off. So actually we set up a meeting with Axel,
one of the founders,
one of the founders here at Tipser, and started to discuss how we could integrate the Tipser solution on DN Erbjudanden. And then it was some time, doing the contract, and also we had to do some technical integration, but it wasn't that hard. So I would say it took maybe a couple of months, and then we got started. And we started really like you could say like an experiment, or to try out what this was. So we started kind of small scale, and then it has been growing over time since we have seen that it's working pretty well for us to sell products this way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And I think also, given our previous conversations, that's one of the plus sides with embedded commerce, that you can start pretty small and try it out, because it's at very low risk. You don't have to buy lots of products and try to predict how much it would sell. You can basically test.
Yes, and that was one of the key factors, I would say, that we could go into this in the beginning also, because since it is a drop shipping solution, we don't, as you say, buy any of the products. We sell what we sell. Yeah. Of course, we have a discussion with the supplier or the manufacturer and set up a sort of campaign plan for each product we're going to sell. But sometimes, we fail. During this journey for 3 years, we have, have had pitfalls as well as success stories.
Yes.
So, and we have learned a lot during this journey, so to speak.
Let's see if I can share my screen now, because I would like us to look at what the first year looked like. Virginia, can you see my screen now?
Not yet. It's starting to screen share.
Okay, that sounds promising. What I'm showing on my screen anyways is the sales development during Dagens Nyheter's first year with embedded commerce. And if you can't see it now, we will share it after the webinar has ended. Basically, you earned over 900,000 euros your first year. You got a commission on average of 20% to you. So you earned roughly almost 200,000 euros.
Yes. And we sold about almost 4,000 products orders.
Exactly. Yeah. And what's interesting with this graph is that it from start, it takes some time for it to scale. I think you got a positive return on your investment after 2.5, 3
months, something like that.
So that's still quite fast, I must say. And then we reached a very, very high peak where you sold for several 100,000 kroners during 1 month, and then it goes down again. What's behind this peak? Actually, we did some. We're going
that was one of the things that we wanted to show in the beginning. That's our success case, maybe our best product ever. And that's the bike that we have been selling. It's an electrical bike that's really, if you're gonna say something about that, an electrical bike connected to the brand of Dagens Nyheter is a very good product, since it really relates to the brand. Our subscribers are very into the environment, and we are right now here in Stockholm, so many of the bikes are sold here, and many people here commute by bike. And it has been really a bestseller for us. And that's, I mean, we're going to show you the graph afterwards, but you can say that when you see how the sales cycle is for our products, you can say it's going up in the beginning of the year, in the spring, and then we have a downfall during the summer. And that relates also how the media consumption of Dagens Nyheter overall is, because we have sort of lower traffic and people are on holiday and taking time off and not consuming as much media or buying products as much as they do during the spring. And then it also peaks up a bit during the autumn, and then we also have a peak right now, actually, since we're going into November and before the holidays and Christmas, and you have Black Friday, and so we follow the season.
Exactly. But can you tell me a little bit more about how you think about picking products? What's behind that process?
We do that together with Tipser. I mean, we haven't gone into that, but we can't be a warehouse. We can't sell, 50,000 items. So we have to be quite selective. I would say if you look at the month, we might have between 20 to 40 products. And then we start, because we usually work monthly with campaigns. And in the beginning of the month, we sort of start out selling the product. And then pretty soon we see what really takes off. And then we sort of target those products and give them more attention and try to, put them out in, and we have to go in maybe where we sort of publish or where our subscribers meet offers, since it's not only the website that we use to communicate with the customers.
Exactly. And what's fantastic with Dagens Nyheter is obviously that you have lots of readers and you have many loyal readers and they trust your brands. And as far as I know, you use both print sometimes to expose product.
Yeah, actually, I would say we use print almost every day, since we are a daily. We have ads in the paper, and some people within the media, or not, maybe advertisers say that print is dead, but I would definitely say that's not the case, because we can really see when we do print ads that it really drive sales. Our most important channel is actually our newsletter, which actually we're going to send out today, later on. It's a weekly newsletter which is published every Wednesday, and it reaches 100,000 subscribers. And that's not the whole base of Dagens Nyheter subscribers, but 100,000, they have selected this newsletter themselves. So they asked to get offers sent to them. So and we're pretty proud, because we have an opening rate of between 65 to 70%, which is quite amazing.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's really good. So, and that's one of the key factors that really drive sales.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, we have the newspaper where we have print ads, but we also have our own website, because the Erbjudan, where we present offers, is, as you said, behind the paywall. It's an own site on Dagens Nyheter's website, so to speak.
Exactly.
But we also have DNSC, which is our main website where we can display ads and have advertising for our products. And also, in addition to that, now I'm talking along here, but
That's perfect.
yeah. But in addition to that, we also, since we are a partner of the Bonnier Media Group, and that's what we do sometimes when we see a product, as I said, when we see a product that takes off, so to speak, sell really well, then we use the term super campaign or something like that. But then we not only selling the product to Dagens Nyheters readers, we actually go within Bonnier, the whole network, and then we do display ads in other publications within the Bonnier Media Group. So that's been working very well for us. So
I know that there is one very successful case with the headphones.
The headphones, yeah, the
Yes,
earbuds,
the earbuds.
yeah, we did with Defunk, which is a company that manufactures earbuds, looks like AirPods, and yeah, we sold them, and that's also one product that we also customized.
Yeah.
But in the first, as you mentioned, we sold those earbuds. It was a bit more than a year ago, I think. And yeah, it was amazing. It took off really well. So, and the fun thing about that actually was the CEO of that company. First, we did a campaign with DN Erbjudanden, where we so to speak put then the advertising. Now we can't show that, but then I mean, that's the thing when you relate to the brand, because what we do in our advertising is that we put the DN logo, DN Erbjudanden, and we put offer. So the reader will sense that DN is behind this product. And I would say that that is very important. And what we saw then was also that, because it was the funny thing about this, we did this campaign for a month and we sold, I think it was 2,000, something like that, between 1 or 2,000. I don't remember the volume, but it was a very good campaign. Then the CEO decided to do his own ads. So
the old-fashioned way.
The old-fashioned way. So we stopped doing marketing within the Erbjudanden, and they went out and did ordinary ads and tried to sell the product. And after 2 months, Johan, as he's called, the CEO, came back to me and said he wanted to go back to what we did before, because that didn't work. It worked, but it didn't convert as good as
with the setup
with the setup with the Erbjudanden. So
that's extremely, I think, interesting, because it also proves the effect of embedded commerce at the Erbjudanden. Having the DN brand as a quality stamp, so to say, that this is a good product, and putting it into your context where you actually cut out several steps in the conversion funnel, because you enable for transactions straight at the DN site.
That's true.
That actually converts better than going via the normal advertisement with banner ads linking to the merchant's own website. So that's very, very interesting. And you actually have happen to have a pair
that's our latest product. I don't know
you
if
have
you
to
can
show
see
it
this here on the.
Maybe it's too small.
Maybe it's too small, but this is earbuds from Defunk, True Plus, and here it says on the case, "Listen to DN." And that's also one thing, because
I think we need to show it here, but it's very, very hard to see. So we can send out that afterwards. Also.
No, but that's also because DN did, how do you say, on the editorial side, we made quite an effort more than a year ago. And we have podcasts, but not only, we do some of the long read material you can listen to, and it's like a sound book. So it was quite, so that's what we try to package here, is like here is the earbud, and you can listen to DN on that earbud. And now we're selling those, and they are, we've just been selling these for 1.5 months, and they are going really well. And it's going really well. Well, I think it's also, it's nice to have, you know, product that's sort of connected to the brand in this way.
Exactly. And it builds on a very nice story. And what I think is fascinating is that both on these earbuds and on the electrical bike, you have the DN brand. So you do these branded products, you put the DN logo on top of these products, which also make them very unique for your site. And I think this is something that you have succeeded in a fantastic way. You're good at creating the unique offers for DN readers specifically. And what that means is that they need to buy it from you because they can't find it anywhere else.
No, but then, and also we are, I mean, we're proud to have an audience or a group of subscribers that sort of really, you know, they want to show off that they are reading Dagens Nyheter.
Exactly.
Because then you sort of sense out to the public that you are on top of things, or you are
well
educated
smart.
And smart, whatever. So we're fortunate also to have a strong brand, and that's like, because we are, I mean, if we go to the content or the editorial content, we are the largest daily here in Sweden, and we also been putting a lot of investment now to quality journalism. So we like to say that we have the best, you know, journalists, the best writers. So we do quality material, and that's also when you pick products, as you said, it's very important that the product, that we try out the products and look at them before, and you know, we can't sell garbage.
You can't just sell any product.
No, not any product.
No.
So we have to be very selective. And actually, we've been forced sometimes to take away some product that we have complaints about, or the quality is not good enough. And then we are pretty fast to do that, because that will hurt the brand. Yeah,
exactly. But if you think about Dagens Nyheter on a general level, and then you think about e-commerce, which is obviously a more commercial project, sometimes you don't pair the two together in mind. And I know that editorial integrity is a super important topic for everyone inside of Bonnier and Dagens Nyheter in particular. How do you consider editorial integrity to go into all of this?
No, but I think we have a balance, so to speak. So we are I mean, we are a platform that can sell things. So and as you said, I think the quality is the most important thing, and that we sort of pick out products that sort of we can stand behind. And of course, we have discussion also with the editorial staff sometimes when we pick the products.
I'm thinking a little bit about COVID also, that we just have been going through. It's not over, but it at least has been coming down a bit. How has COVID affected sales on Dagens Nyheter?
In terms of the e-commerce project, so to speak, it has actually been a success factor. You would like to say that, since it's an awful event that has been taking place in the world, but on the erbjudanden, the site where we offer our products, we before had other things such physical events and travels, and that in one night disappeared. So now for 1.5 years, I would say, we have been focusing on selling products, which has been we have been really focusing on this project, which has been good for us, because we have really gone into this deep, so to speak. So I mean, if you look at the figures also, we have had a great development.
Yes, And I think we can actually, if we manage to get slides back now on, maybe we can go forward a little bit and look at what year 2 and 3 looked like. Here we go. Because it's a matter of fact, we've managed to double sales, and the development is pretty interesting if we look at it year to year as well, even though it's not a steady trend upwards. No. It's going up and down, but it also is very much connected to when you launch these branded products, when you push your shopping focus newsletter, and when you have the successful super campaigns.
Yes,
right.
I would say, yeah. So as I said before, we follow the season, and as you can see in the beginning of the year, we have the bike that we sell between like from beginning of March to April.
And it's pretty expensive.
Yeah, it's about 12,000 Swedish crowns, which is 1,200 euros. And actually, we're going to sell it next year also, but we're going to raise the price because now bicycles are very hard to get by.
Okay.
So, but we're going to do another sell on bikes next year. But as you said, also you have the other products. We have the earbuds and bottle of made by a glass manufacturer. Glass manufacturer by an artist that was unique, made unique for Dagens Nyheter that we had in the end of the year. So, and that's what we try to focus on. We have like products that we sell regularly, that we pick like any product that anyone can sell, but we try to find these that we can put our logo on, or that we can do something that's unique in the packaging. That's really what boosts the sales, so to speak.
Exactly. And some of the downfalls here that we also can see, what would you say are explanatory factors behind that?
No, but I would say summer is one of the biggest factors that we have and then we have to go to ourselves, because when we are not that active, I mean, it's all that you have to have consistency and work all the time. And so after campaign, you know, you might have a downfall for a couple of weeks until the next. So you don't have this flat level, so to speak.
But if you look into the future now and try to predict the potential of the project, how are your thoughts about that?
I think we can, you know, we want to make more revenues, of course, and I think we can increase sales over time. And I think that we might, if we take 2 or 3 years ahead, I would say we could double or even triple. But we need to do, I mean, we need to find some new products that we can launch. And we also have actually one thing that you and I talked before is that as we said also with the case with the earbuds, where traditional advertising didn't work for them. What we have to do is on our side is to work more with our advertising sales department. Because we do that a little bit, but we can be much better on that. Because if we can integrate ad sales with this e-commerce project, we're going to have a strong offer on the market and we're going to reach more. So I think the potential is, if we can sort of mix that together and make it a strong offer to the market, then we can increase sales. I'm pretty confident in that, if we can make it work.
That is very interesting, because eventually what then embedded commerce turns out to be is a new revenue stream for Dagens Nyheter and also for Bonnier. And I know that you within the Bonnier company work with embedded commerce on a few different titles. How does that play out?
No, but that's actually one of our newspapers down in the south of Sweden, Sydsvenskan and Helsingborgs Dagblad, they're called. They started out with Tipser now almost been running for a year or 8 months or something like that. And so we have a close collaboration, actually. So we have meeting every week and we discuss campaigns together. And we also target manufacturers and suppliers together. So that's really good because it makes us stronger and we have a stronger offer already there. And then you have another company within the Bonnier Group, not Bonnier News Media, but Vi Villa, which is a newspaper that goes out to every household here in Sweden which lives in a house. And they also started out with Tipster, I think 6 or 8 months ago. So we also have a connection with them. And it's great to have that network because other suppliers, and then we know that our also competitors, Aftonbladet and Schibsted, they are running with you as well. So we look at what they are doing and, you know,
take
inspiration from that. So, yeah.
How does it benefit you to have several publications within the same network working with embedded commerce?
No, but as I said, it makes the offer stronger for the manufacturers and I would say to the brands. So we can offer, you know, a bigger reach, larger reach, you say. And also we are more competitive because we can also not be aggressive, but when we negotiate with the manufacturer, we can also have higher demands, so to speak, and higher margins and you know, better offer to our customers in the end. So it benefits all, I guess.
Exactly, because the revenue share model that is behind this is a commissions split, right?
Yeah.
So the brand gets one part of the cookie,
you
get one, and Tipster takes a small part to cover the cost of customer service and payment provider and so forth. And this is your negotiation window and power where you can actually get bigger. We talk about general commission levels on 20% to you, but that is a minimum and you can negotiate higher.
Negotiate higher, of course. If we do more in the campaign or something like that, we can put higher demands on the supplier.
Exactly.
Because that's one thing you have to remind yourself of, is that, which I think actually when we talk, and we have to be better with this, because the supplier, the manufacturers, they don't only get sales from us.
No.
They also get brand awareness for their brands and their products in our environment, which is really something that is worth a lot.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, so I guess we have to remind them more about that.
Absolutely. And I think we have several cases of projects that we have been running together with smaller brands that don't have big muscles to reach the big mass. And to have them be featured on Dagens Nyheter with the DN logo, like a quality stamp next to their brand, can be a game changer for them to breaking through. I also really like the new concept that you've launched, which is called Book of the Month. Yeah,
we started out with books, and books is not, a thing that we see it that you don't. Books aren't that expensive.
No.
We haven't talked really about, we said the bike is expensive.
Yeah.
If we should talk about how much a product costs in general, we sell the product because it's also good to sell expensive products. And I would say mid-range is between 800 and 1,000 Swedish crowns, which is 80 to 100 euros. And books, they are not that expensive, but we see books as we launched actually a special book site, which we have on the side where we sell books. And then we launched a concept called the Book of the Month a couple of months ago. And we can see that books are really generating a lot of sales, and it's also a step-in product for customers, because maybe to buy a bike for 12,000 kronor is quite a big step.
Exactly.
But to buy a book for, and you do that and you see that it works, and then you come back and buy something more. And so books are really, and also in the sense that Dagens Nyheter, and that's, I mean, that's for us, because we are very much covering books in our editorial environment. So we have, so it's our readers are very interested
in books.
In books.
It's a perfect match.
Yeah, it's a perfect match.
Brand, and it's we've seen it be very, very successful to conceptualize like this, so that every month the visitor knows that they will be presented book of the month that you have handpicked, because it's a fantastic book first and foremost, but you also then negotiate an exclusive discount.
A discount and
for
a
your
good price
readers.
for our readers.
Exactly. And now we finally managed to get the video on screen. You can see what it looks like, or actually it's live, and maybe we can't. No, it's playing out with it, but that was at least Dagens your erbjuden on the site. The reason why you couldn't reach it was because you weren't a subscriber. So you need to be a subscriber to Dagens Nyheter in order to actually
it's behind
take part.
the paywall, so
Exactly. Imagine what would happen if it was in front of the entire universe. But I think before we leave room for questions, because either we have tons of questions regarding the fact that they can't see our screen, or it's actually questions.
Yes.
But I would like to get the final slide on screen, if that's possible, where we have together tried to highlight. Here we go. Thank you so much. Some success factors, just to summarize. We've been working together for 3 years now, managing to double sales year to year, which is fantastic. The development has not been steady all the way. It's been going up and down. But it's also been a very good learning.
Learning process, I would say.
Exactly, a learning process. And the fact that you want to invest even more, and that you think that you can increase sales even more, and that it's actually an important revenue stream now, alongside advertisement, the traditional way, and subscriptions, to me is a very, very good success factor in itself. But what we think have been key here is that you've had a dedicated resource focusing on this project, because embedded commerce is still new. It's new to the organization Bonnier, it's new to the end customer who can suddenly buy on Dagens Nyheter, and it's new to the brands. So from the beginning, you need to get some, focus some resources to this in order to make it work. And it is paying off if you do so. You of course have a big target audience, and that's important. You have a target audience that trusts you, so you can even sell branded products to them. And you can also base the decisions on picking products on data. You know what your audience likes, and that will guide you in the selection of products. You have a strong newsletter, which has been a pure success factor, and also the fact that you're now launching a shopping focused newsletter. We see is what's converting the best. The fact that you have an open rate on 65 to 70% is also quite telling that the audience enjoys these offers. It's not seen as annoying ads that you try to push them on. It's actually a reader service. You've also been able to open up your ad network, so that when you have a product where the return on investment is pretty substantial, it makes sense to push even more traffic to it and push it out in the network. It's campaign focused. It's one shopping site where you land all of your traffic. The products that you get there are either on exclusive discount or exclusive package or a branded product for your readers only, which makes it highly attractive. You are using print, and we see first and foremost the more expensive products. That helps, because sometimes maybe you need a little bit more time than just an impulse. Exactly, to consider buying something for 1,200 euros, and their print plays an important role. You've had the right mindset from start. It's not something you launch in 20 minutes and then you step away. You need to work with
that's really important.
Continuously.
Yeah, you have to work over time, and I mean, you can't just put out an ad and hope to sell.
Exactly.
Because that's what we can see now, that we really, now the audience or our subscribers, they have learned. I mean, in the beginning, this was new to them.
It was new. They didn't know they could buy from Dagens Nyheter.
So now we have a big group that use this platform.
Lots of returning customers, and the branded products have been a pure success. Cash cow so far. And I think that with all of these learnings and your mindset and the engagement, the future looks really bright. And we look forward to working more together. That was all in terms of our presentation. Now we have roughly 13 minutes to go. Let's see if we receive some questions.
Yes, hello. Thank you very much for the interesting conversation. And we do have some questions. And the first one is from Diego Vallejo from El Tiempo, joining us from Colombia. And he's asking, how much traffic in your website or section is related to this amount of revenue?
Actually, if you, we have on Dagens Nyheter, which is the biggest daily here in Sweden, we have like millions, I mean, on our main website. But on our DN Erbjudanden, which is where you go to take part of the offers, we have between 40 to 50,000 unique visitors each month. And that might not seem so much when compared with all the big traffic that we have on our ordinary website. But you have to understand that when people go there, they are in sort of buying mood, or they go there to do a transaction. So I mean, you can see the figures for ourselves. We are pretty proud of what the sales we are managing to do from that amount of traffic, actually.
And I think it's pretty impressive if you look at it at a conversion rate perspective. You can pretty fast do the math. If you had 4,000 orders the first year, and month to month around 40,000, it was even less, I guess, the first year when you launched. The conversion rates are very high.
Yes.
So that's very impressive.
So it's working. Yeah, it's working well for us. And that's what we, I guess that's an answer.
Great, thank you. Another question that we have is from Nathalie Derrien from Le Telegram in France. And she's asking, Per, what is the percentage of your audience that has actually bought these products?
Percentage?
The percentage of your audience that has bought products. That's a very good question. It also depends, I guess, on what audience you talk about. If it's the full reader audience on DN, it's pretty small. But I think when it comes to the audience that you target with the DN Erbjudande, it's almost 100. And
I would say so. As I said, we have, I mean, we launched the website DN Erbjudanden before we had the collaboration with Tipser. And the traffic on DN Erbjudanden has been quite steady over these 4 years. So we have an amount of 40 to 50,000 each month of unique visitors. And I would say from that group, I mean, it's not the same 40, 50,000 every month, but we have a sort of, hur säger man, kärnmålgrupp, eller a core that's coming back almost every month, and then we get new ones up, of course.
Exactly. And before you started working with embedded commerce on DN Erbjudanden, you had some giveaways and you had some tickets and events. And now you have incorporated the possibility to actually also sell products
Yeah.
on site.
On site.
So you can keep your own other businesses, but just add this on top. And then the data speaks for itself when it comes to what is performing the best.
Yeah.
And you can give that more exposure and so forth.
Mm.
So that's also good to mention that it doesn't mean that you have to stop with other related projects and new revenue streams, such as affiliate or events or so forth.
And also we can see this, since you asked me before about COVID made us sort of focusing on the products for now 1.5 years. And now what we can see actually this month, I would say this last month, October, was actually the first month when we sort of started to have live events and we started to, so now we're mixing that with the selling products. And what we can see is that the volume of sales, because that was a possibility that we would see a downfall in sales, but we haven't seen that actually. We are still on the same level, so to speak. So I think actually we might address, I mean, if we look at now I haven't analyzed the traffic for the last month, but I guess we might have some new subscribers coming back to us because they weren't interested in not, buying products. They might, I think it was too much, only that. And now we have a mix. So it might be good for us as well as having
cross-selling. Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yes, thank you very much. I have a question myself to Per. If you could do something differently in launching embedded commerce, now that you know more about how it all played out, what would that be?
I think we would have moved faster, I think, because I think, as Michaela said, we had the mindset in the beginning that it was, or I said, it was like an experiment. And we started out really, just a few products in the beginning, and we could have been more aggressive and do it faster to sort of come to the level we are at now. But now I think we have to think how we're going to go forward from here to even, scale up the project, so to speak. But now we would have been more faster in the beginning, I think.
Great. Well, sure, it's all a learning curve, but it's great. And one final question, also to Per. Apart from the new revenue stream, what's the main strength do you find to be with embedded commerce?
No, but as I said, it's a risk-free model for us to go into this business, because as we have the collaboration with Tipster, it's not a big risk to do this because we don't buy the product, we sell what we sell. And as I said also, before we actually started with Tipster, and we are still measuring this, to buy a product from Dagens Nyheter is actually in a way to interact with the product. And what we can see is that the subscribers that interact with DN Erbjudanden and go on our offering site, they have what's known in the business as churn. They have lower churn than other subscribers. So not only do we make some money selling products to them, they also stay longer as subscribers. So, I mean, this is part of our loyalty program. So I guess it works well for us, and it's I mean, it's beneficial for both on all sides. It's a win-win situation really for everyone.
Great. And just we do have a few minutes, so I would like to ask Michaela, what markets are Tipster live in today? And does Tipster work with any other publications other than news media?
We are live in Sweden, in Finland, in the UK, in Germany, and in the US, where we are scaling quite rapidly as of right now. And we do work with other media than news media. We also have big clients within fashion and beauty. We also work with some smaller sports-focused magazines, but we could, work with any kind of publication, really. News media is one of them, and it all depends on the intention and strategy of that particular publisher. So we are open to taking conversations with anyone. Yes, with everyone and anyone.
Great. Well, thank you very much. And certainly I would encourage everyone who joined today to get in touch with Michaela or one of her team members at Tipster. And thank you very much for this very insightful presentations. Now we are recording this and we will send you so you can rewatch or share with your colleagues who have not been able to join us, and also share with you the presentation so you can see the curves. So, well, thank you very much again to both of you and for Tipster for all your support. It's been a pleasure, and yeah, hope to see you all again in live events and everywhere. Thank you, Per Johnsson and Michaela and the whole team at Tipster, and everyone for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.